you. Well, first I want to thank Denise for her brainchild, Robin for her blood, sweat, and tears to bring this all together, Rob for believing and supporting an idea like the Design-athon, and Life Labs, and for having me here. And I want to thank everyone for being here and sharing your skills, talents, creativity. It'll be really exciting to see what happens. And again, I'm the Director of Technology and Life Labs at UCP. And quick introduction, I'm from DC, came in just a few days ago. And I'm a fan of Game of Thrones. I don't know if anyone else here, but I found out that Hodor is actually DJing across Australia. And I don't know, he has his Game of Thrones DJ set. I don't know what that means, but I'm more than willing to find out at the Rave of Thrones. And a band they're from my area, and they're actually playing in Sydney on Sunday. But Hodor is not coming till August 28th. And Future Islands, that show sold out. So I'm not upset. I'm not upset, not at all. But I'm here to talk about Life Labs and also assistive technology. At Life Labs, we track a lot of the innovations going on in assistive technology. And so I'm going to talk about where we are, where we're trending, not necessarily from the design standpoint, but just what's available. And so UCP is CPA's counterpart in the States. And CPA is like the shining star of the constellation we share together. But I run the Life Labs department, which is UCP's innovation arm. And some of the things that we're working on, so just a quick introduction for Life Labs, we're working with universities and even schools to create a universal design curriculum. And we hope to put it up on iTunes U and open source it so that anyone can use it. And we see it being used in schools, companies, teaching employees, designers, engineers why, not just how, but why you would incorporate universal design in everything you do. And we've heard with the previous speakers of all the benefits that can come about from universal design. I actually, as a little pilot and experimentation, I did a presentation to a class of first graders about universal design. And I had about 15 minutes, and it turned into an over 2-hour conversation. And just imagine first graders being interested and focused on one subject for an hour. And they had questions, they were really inquisitive about the disability realm and assistive technology and universal design, which there is a space there to teach this stuff early on. So we hope to develop that soon. And the future for Life Labs, when I first started a few years ago, I wanted to have a physical space, Life Labs to be a place that projects, people, startups could go, work together, be connected to our network, really understand the why and see why you do the things that you do, but also give them the tools and the support they need and the connections they need to bring those products to market. And here's a incubator a few blocks away from our offices in DC. We have President Obama there. It's called 1776. Very popular one in our city. And this is actually I like to say it's a gym It's a makerspace, a commercial makerspace, so people actually pay gym memberships to use, all the devices here that you probably already know how to use. You guys have great facilities here, but not everyone has access to equipment like this to customize, hack, and create new products. That's Tech Shop. They're around the States right now in different cities. And actually, out of the Design-athon in DC, a relationship was made. We had one of our universities work with our affiliate in Chicago, and they created an accessible makerspace. It was the students for a graduate interior design program created an accessible makerspace that fit into 2 shipping containers. And that brings us to, those are some of the things that we're working on, but where are we in terms of, what's available right now? And right now, assistive technology is still difficult to manufacture. We still design it for a specific individual. It's expensive, and we're always limited by the interfaces, and it's still stigmatized. But a lot of things are changing. In the States, the people that use AT, and I think globally, the people who use AT will be changing, and it's going to be growing. So it's going to become, an even more important, sector of technology. And in the States, the population over 65 is growing at a faster rate than the population under 65. And so that's going to mean more people with drastic changes in their mobility, memory, senses, and but the good thing is that this group is more technically savvy than ever. And we're going to be looking towards these technologies to make our everyday lives easier. So I like this quote here. I mean, technology is the new equalizer, but this quote is about human augmentation, not necessarily about assistive technology, but I think it applies. We're moving toward, from a model of therapy towards one in which human capacities are greatly improved. And we have an example here of, we were talking about 3D printing, and this is an actual product out there, an open source design of not just a prosthetic, but a mechanical arm. And again, 3D printed, functional, safe, cost effective. And what used to cost $5,000 and $50,000 US dollars now costs $50 to produce. That's big. And what used to take days and weeks can now be fabricated in minutes and hours. And they actually say for most tasks, it has a better grip than the products that are out there, the more expensive products that are out there, and a more individualized fit. Obviously, when we're using 3D printers, the customization can be endless. So we're also seeing more augmentation, but without the stigma. And then we still see some assistive technology with stigma. And of course, we want our lives to be easier. We want, we know that this technology has the potential to make our lives easier, but we also want it to be inconspicuous. And a hospital in LA is actually using stickers to monitor vital signs. And these are things that are out there already. The Google project, which, contact lens that monitors glucose levels. And then everyone knows Google Glass. Actually, this is a technology that still has stigma around it, right? No one's quite comfortable yet wearing them around and using them, but we'll get there, right? or we don't know. But you know, you're able to remember things, be reminded of things without, you know, pulling out your phone. We're also seeing a shift in interface. And I guess a few years ago, or many years ago, people still wanted to have phones with physical keyboards. Does anyone remember that? Where? No? Yeah? Okay. But you know, now all the phones look alike, right? You know, you're using a touch keyboard, and it's just, it feels normal now. But it took that shift in interface, right? We didn't want it, and then we saw we wanted it. And if you see small children using the iPad, you know, they can navigate around quite easily, and then you put them in front of a laptop and they're touching the screen, right? But again, we shifted from physical to touch, and we're very comfortable with that. But we're going to see more shifts. You know, touch is not going to be the end of interfaces. We'll see more gesture. It's not quite there yet. We'll see voice. I mean, those who have iPhones know about Siri and how terrible it is. But you know, it's going to improve. Those are things that are going to get better, and those will be the interfaces. But we also see traditional interfaces, like a steering wheel, that might just go away. No more pedals, no more steering wheel, and the interfaces might be something else. So the future of assistive technology, of course, new groups will start to use it, and that's going to define what type of augmentation is going to happen, and what type of abilities we might have. And we're seeing that it is getting easier to create, and new ways to interact, cheaper, and more access to the data that we're collecting. So in the end, I just want to leave all the attendees with, you know, this message that, you know, good design can change the world, and we all have similar goals. We all want, you know, a relationship. We want to be happy. We want to live long and comfortably. But we all might get there differently. We might take different paths to get there, but we all deserve the opportunity, the tools to get there. And that's what this is about. And I hope you can take that and, you know, create something wonderful today and tomorrow. And thank you.